Hey, what's up everyone? Here's Gore's Month of Horror, or Gore's Horror Movie Month, number 13, wherever you want to call it. And this time I'm looking at the animated prequel to Dead Space 1. I looked at Dead Space Ignition, which is the prequel to Dead Space 2, but video game form. This one's a movie, and it's for the first one. It's a prequel, so whatever. It's Dead Space Downfall. Now, this is obviously a straight-to-DVD film, so I'm not going to look at it really like any other, feature film, and also it's animated, so, I mean, you could think, it's not going to be that great. But, did I like it? I'm not sure. I don't even know. I'm going to be surprised like you. So, let's go on to the review. Also, if you don't know by now, this is going to be an unedited review because it's Gore's Month of Horror, so yeah. It's just unedited, so if you don't want me going a lot, then go somewhere else. So yeah, let's go on to the review. Okay, now, story of Dead Space Downfall starts off like a few hours before Isaac Clarke actually gets onto the Ishimura in the first game. If you played the first game, you know what I'm talking about. But it's pretty much a prequel before the actual game. So if you haven't played the game, don't worry, this is a prequel, so you'll be fine. And also, Dead Space 1 didn't have the biggest story anyway, so, besides the character. So if that character was in this, then you would be a little confused. But don't worry, he's not in this, and you won't be confused at all. It's pretty much the story of a whole bunch of, I would say just a whole crew of people. It's pretty much the same exact story as Dead Space Ignition, or vice versa, because Dead Space Ignition came out after. But, really, you follow more guys, and also it's not a crappy motion comic, so that's good. It's animated, and it's actually pretty good animation for a straight-to-DVD film. Definitely for something that wasn't even big when this came out. This came out like a couple weeks before Dead Space, so no one even knew if Dead Space was going to be that good, So, yeah, definitely pretty good animation for what it is. It's straight-to-DVD animated film of a game that wasn't even that popular in the beginning. I mean, it was a little bit popular, but it didn't sell all that fantastic, from what I heard. But yeah, so the animation looks really good. And the story, like I said before, it's just them on a ship trying to survive the necromorphs, or just the aliens, let me say. If you don't know what Dead Space is, it's the aliens. They're trying to survive the aliens, and if you played the game, you know what really happens. But I won't spoil that. And yeah, you just follow these soldiers around. They're like, we're going to try to save everybody. And yeah, it's pretty gory also, so that's pretty cool. So whatever, story's okay. So let me talk about what I liked about the film. What I liked about the film was the gore and the animation. The voice acting wasn't that bad either. I really liked the voice acting. And also, it's a good length. It's about 70-75 minutes, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. So that's really, really. Like I said, the voice acting's pretty good overall. You got Bruce Lettner, I think that's his name. He was in the original Tron. I think he's going to be in the new Tron too, which is cool. But he's I'm pretty sure he's like a B-movie king. I think he was in the remake of King Kong, which is kind of cool. But yeah, he's not a big star. He's a voice actor in here, which is pretty cool. You also got the guy, I forgot his name, but he plays the doctor in this film. And I know he's the guy that he plays him in the actual Dead Space game. He's like the only character that voices the character in the game. I'm not going to say if he's the only character that's in the game, though. But, yeah, he actually plays Commissioner Gordon from Dark Knight, like his main guy there, which if you know the Dark Knight like me, then you'll definitely recognize him. He's like the head guy that's always with him, and he voices him, which is cool. That's a pretty big actor. He's pretty good in this. And all the other voice acting is pretty good. So, yeah, the voice acting's good. There is a lot of gore, and the animation is nice. It's a good length, and it's not boring at all. This kind of goes with the good length because it's not boring at all, and it's actually kind of fun. So yeah. There you go. For watching people get destroyed, pretty much. It's pretty fun. So let me go on to what I didn't like about the film. Okay, now what I didn't like about the film was the story itself. This is another thing like Dead Space Ignition, where it does not need a prequel. Mostly because we all know what happens. If you played Dead Space 1, then you all know what happens. And even if you didn't play Dead Space, and you're like, I'm going to play this before I actually go in, I'm going to watch this before I actually go and play the game. You're not going to get much from it. I mean, the story is simply there so you can watch all these people die in gruesome ways. And, I mean, for animation, they die in pretty gruesome ways. Some people get cut in half, and I don't mean half as in torso, just in half. I mean from their head to their lower region. And it's it's pretty brutal. I gotta admit, it's pretty freaking brutal, and it looks pretty nice with the okay looking animation. Uh, but really, you don't care about any of these characters. You don't care about the story, and it was kind of pointless. I mean, I didn't hate all these characters. They were just like, he's dead. That's whatever, whatever. And yeah, I just didn't really care for the characters or the story. So that's like 2 knocks to it. And really, I can't think of anything else I didn't like besides that. And maybe it gets a little stupid in parts. Like there's this whole thing about the artifact on there. Now I barely played the first game. I think there's still an artifact in the game. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but they try to make it seem like the people are going crazy and they're like trying to kill themselves, and this artifact is the reason. But they don't really explain all that much. Why is the artifact making people crazy? And is it because of these freaking monsters that come out? These necromorphs? I'm guessing that's why, but they freaking try to kill themselves. I don't know. It was a little weird to me. It might have been in the original game. Like I said, I don't really remember because I barely played the original game. I thought it was a very generic game, but whatever. That's just me. But yeah. I thought that was kind of weird, and that's really all I didn't like about the film. Overall, I like the film, but it's not that fantastic. It's not great. It's good straight to DVD horror animated fun, and it's not that scary, but it does have some gruesome moments. So I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty good, but not great. So if you haven't seen this yet, why not check it out? It's not a great prequel to Dead Space, not even a good one, but it's a fun movie. So you can definitely check it out on Netflix streaming if you have Netflix. But overall, it's not a fantastic film, like I keep saying. So yeah, there's my review. There's Gore's Horror Movie Month, or Gore's Horror, a month of horror, whatever. Number 13, the unlucky 13, and this is a pretty good film. So yeah, thank you and goodbye.